Frig off.
It always does it. Every time I come into Hangouts, it always gives me like a error. Your video feed doesn't work right. It's like, frig off. But yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're live, so we're gonna go over the show. Give me just a second. I gotta get the chat pulled up.
Yep, same here. Alright, there we go. I am live and ready to go. I don't know about you.
I'm not seeing the live stream.
I am.
You are?
Yep.
Okay.
I just want to check one thing here. Alright.
Okay. So first of all, to anybody that decided not to watch the show for whatever reason, you made the right decision.
Oh God, yes.
You made the right decision. Whether it was because you don't like Saudi Arabia, or don't like Saudi Arabia, or just was like, I'll miss it. You made the right decision.
So I'm gonna cover your ass on that one and say, if you don't like Saudi Arabia because of their political views,
right?
That would have been a better way to say it instead of don't like Saudi Arabia.
I mean, what other reasons would you have? What other reasons?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so let me pull up these results here. I will say I didn't see Usos versus Revival. I didn't even know that was an advertised match.
That was during the pre-show.
Okay. So how was it any good?
Yeah, it actually wasn't that bad. For being the fact that the Revival's being jobbed around the last little while, it was actually a pretty decent back and forth match.
Yeah, Brian Beatty, I fully agree with that. Absolutely, it was sad and it was fucking dangerous.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that. So I guess the Usos beat the Revival. Was it?
Yes, my boys, the Usos.
Get him, Oos. Get him, Oos. All right. So that was probably a good match. I don't know. Didn't see it. So we'll just go ahead and move on to Baron Corbin versus Seth Rollins. It was fine. It definitely wasn't anything to write home about.
Nah, not at all.
So Corbin ends up losing because he gets in a shouting match with the ref, and while he's distracted, he gets rolled up. The ref actually starts fighting back and berating him. Gets rolled up. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins. Out comes Brock Lesnar, who basically just got his ass kicked, and so he decided not to cash in. It wasn't too exciting, but I guess it stirred the pot a little bit more because everyone was like, oh, well, Brock's going to cash in on Kofi anyway. So that, it kind of like added fuel to the fire for that hype.
I wasn't a big fan of the match. I wasn't a big fan of it from the start when they announced it. But with that being said, it actually wasn't that bad. There was a lot more action than I thought there would be. So to me, that was it was good. It was a good starter match. Well,
it was solid because I don't hate Baron Corbin. I think his gimmick is pretty bad, and he needs to actually get some fucking tights.
He needs to go back to the Lone Wolf.
Yeah, I don't like the whole wearing a vest and wrestling and all that shit. What's up, Matt Helms? What's up, Ernie?
Ernie, get out of here.
To answer your question, Ernie, not much.
Yeah,
not much enjoyment was to be had. But yeah, so I guess they're facing again at Stomping Grounds. It sounded like Stomping Grounds was just going to be a rehash of this Super Showdown, which that's not good.
Pretty much, except for the added fact of Bliss and Natalya. Or not Bliss and Natalya, Bliss and what's her name?
And the fact that Kofi and Dolph will be inside a steel cage.
Yes, which that's what it should have been from the start. If they would have hyped that up as a steel cage match, so much more potential for that match.
Yeah, there is a lot of potential. And I feel like a lot of these matches were rushed. Like, you know, most of their pay-per-views now go like 4 or 5 hours, and they were actually trying to fit this one after the pre-show into like a 3-hour thing. So,
well, we're gonna do a little trivia here.
Not to mention everyone was dying of heat exhaustion.
Oh, tell me about it. That was another thing that annoyed me. Okay, like, okay, I get it. It's hot and over in Saudi Arabia, but why did they have to keep showing the weather every freaking match? That was more annoying than the, hey, we're trending on Twitter, go check us out. Even though they were trending #1 on Twitter, I can confirm that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because I did go look just to see if they were bullshit.
What did they? I honestly, like, I was only half looking sometimes. What was like the highest temperature? Like 110 or some shit?
Yeah, it was like 109, 110.
That's fucking brutal.
Speaking of,
have to wrestle in that, have to sit there for 3 hours. Like, good God.
I commend them like very well. But
yeah, especially the commentators.
Speaking of highest, what do you think time-wise? What do you think the highest match was? And give me a guesstimate time.
Oh, I'm almost positive it was Triple H and Randy Orton.
Yep.
And I think I saw it. I think it's someone somewhere said it was like 25 minutes or so.
25 and a half.
It just wasn't. I don't know. But anyway, the next match, Andrade versus Demon King Finn Balor. Is that his name, Demon King, or is it just the Demon?
Well, it's the Demon King, Finn Balor. Yes.
He's the king.
Yeah.
So again, fine match. You know, it was just not anything to write home about. It wasn't interesting in any way, and it felt short. Like if you had given these guys more time, I feel like they could have told a more complete story. But that's like almost every match on the card, honestly.
Yeah, and that was the big downside to this entire pay-per-view is every match, even this one, as good as Finn Balor is, and as much as I like Finn Balor, that match was so rushed, it almost felt like a televised house show.
A lot of this, but honestly, they do better than that at house shows. Like, they give people time and have really good matches, but it felt like Raw but worse. You know what I mean? Or SmackDown but worse.
I didn't hear that one, Brian, but that could be true.
Had a mild heart attack? What? I did not know that.
We'll look into that for next show.
Yeah. Crazy if true, but, you know, with it being as hot as it was, and he's damn near 50.
Right.
All right. So, next we had Shane McMahon versus fucking Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
God, what a dumb match. Like, I wasn't excited for this match anyway, and then to see it play out was that much more worse because Shane actually fucking beat Roman because of Drew McIntyre, you know.
Which, yeah, but the only reason they did that was so they could get the Breaking Ground or whatever it's called pay-per-view. Stomping Ground, Breaking Ground, same fucking thing. Same pay-per-view.
Are they fighting again there?
No, but Roman and Drew are, aren't they?
Oh, that's right. That is right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why they did that. They set that up.
I mean, that makes sense, but it's just going to make the Shane McMahon character that much more fucking insufferable. I'm not enjoying his heel work at all.
No.
So you care nothing for the Roman Drew. I mean, it's just played out, man. I mean, they've been fighting since before fucking WrestleMania. So absolutely get done with that.
Well, and that's just it. You know, they dropped the ball a long time ago with Drew, and the fact that they're trying to rehash him and make up for his first run in the WWE, they're failing completely.
It's just this kind of start-stop mentality where it's like, okay, time for this monster push. 2 weeks later, oh, well, now you're losing again. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, look at hey, Quartz, what's up?
What's up, Quartz? Good to see you.
Look at Strowman, for instance. They had him booked as a monster heel, and then all of a sudden, Kalisto beat him in a fucking trash can match.
I mean,
or dumpster match, whatever.
It was bad enough whenever he fucking couldn't kick out of one F5.
Yeah.
Like, just the F5 and Braun Strowman, of all people, was done. Like, no.
Yeah.
So that's terrible.
And then that whole fucking arm wrestling thing, it ruined my expectations for anything.
Anytime you see an arm wrestling match on Raw, you might as well just give me a fucking Ambien because I'm about to go to sleep, dude. Like, I do not want to see an arm wrestling match. That is terrible.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, I could have cared less who won them. I mean, I was kind of hoping for Roman because it's Roman. But I knew Shane, and I even said this on the prediction. I knew Shane was going to take it. I just didn't know he was going to take it in that aspect and in that way.
Well, I didn't even realize that Drew was going to be out there with him. So, if I had realized that, which I guess I should have realized that.
Yeah.
They're trying anything because they're scared of AEW. Well, they need to try. If they're trying anything, they need to try everything else.
Well,
because the shit is bad right now.
It is. And there is one thing I will get to when we get to the main event. But
all right. Okay, so let's see. After that, blah, blah, blah. 3-on-1 match, Lucha House Party versus Lars. I literally turned the pay-per-view off. That match.
I was sitting there scrolling through Facebook the whole time and talking to you guys in the Discord. So I really didn't pay attention to that because I knew Sullivan was going to win.
Obviously that, but also I just fuck Lars.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
After his recent exploit, I guess you could call it.
Just fuck Lars. I don't want to see any segments with him. I don't like him. I literally turned off the pay-per-view, waited for the people in my Discord to tell me whenever he was off the screen and turn the shit back on. So I don't know how good this match was, but Lars Sullivan obviously winner by DQ. What the fuck did they attack Lars for the double team and the referee calls for the belt? Oh. Well, that sounds horrible anyway. So it wasn't even a decisive victory for Lars.
Yeah.
That makes it 100 times worse. WWE,
yeah, see, I didn't even know he won by DQ. So
yeah. Okay. Paul says Triple H most likely didn't have a heart attack, most likely someone on Reddit. I mean, who knows? I guess we'll find out in the coming hours. I think WWE is in fear of taking talent and eyeballs. I mean,
they've already lost some of their biggest names, if you ask me.
I think that those first AEW shows are gonna fucking definitely crush it in ratings, I think, and then it'll kind of level off, and we'll see what it's gonna be normally. But let's see here. Okay, then we had Randy Orton versus Triple H. This match was it was okay, but it wasn't great. There was no fucking reason it needed to be 25 minutes of the show. Absolutely.
No. I was thinking 15 tops.
15, that would have kept it succinct, I think that would have been okay.
Yeah.
It was fine, but it's just Randy Orton versus Triple H, even though maybe it has been almost 10 years, but we saw them fight fucking a lot. Like almost as much as Orton Cena. So it's kind of just like, okay, well, we've seen this before, but when you were both younger and better. So
I mean, in the ranking from best to worst matches, this was definitely on top because of the fact that the chemistry they have in the past, and the chemistry they've had in the ring in the past, not just promo wise. So
it was good. I mean, there were some good spots, like repeatedly getting fucking thrown onto the table, and like, are the tables just stronger now? Because that shit did not break, and like 4 times at least for Triple H almost going through it, I think. And I know Randy almost did.
And they broke a monitor.
Yeah, a monitor went straight into Triple H's spine. So Randy Orton ended up winning. I mean, I think that was the right call because he's the one that's still full-time compared to, Triple H who only wrestles these special occasion matches. So it is what it is. It was fine, but there really was nothing on the show that jumped out at me like, whoa, dude, that is fucking match of the night. That's terrific. I mean,
I agree.
Match of the night by default is not like something it's not a title that you really want to earn.
Nope.
Let's see. Triple H always has the longest match if he can. I guess so.
Well, yeah, Paul has a point. He does, and that's only because he's the fucking CEO or COO or whatever he is.
And Triple H, I mean, he's had tons of classic matches, dude. Whenever I started watching, he was my favorite
I'm not
wrestler.
Saying that. Yeah, Triple H has had some phenomenal matches. I mean,
I just don't think tonight was one of them. They try to a lot of times with Triple H and that generation, they try to go back to that Attitude Era style where they're fighting all around the ring. They're fucking going into the crowd sometimes. That seems to happen frequently in Triple H matches nowadays. But you still got to do the wrestling part of wrestling. So it was good. It was I didn't hate it. It just
no, but
it's not going to stick in my mind as like some classic.
Yeah. And I was just about to say, it's not going to be one of those matches you're going to talk about in 10 years.
Right. Yeah. None of these matches we saw tonight are.
No.
You might not talk about them in 10 days. Okay. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley.
Boring.
Yeah. I mean, Lashley just has no charisma, dude. I tried to like that guy. I tried to give it a chance. Just not that interesting.
I never did like him, so.
Yeah, I didn't like him back in the day either. But I thought that, he spent so much time in TNA. He won so many championships there. I was like, and, most of which I missed. But I was like, okay, if that's true, then he has to be at least somewhat entertaining character. No, he's just absolutely bland. There's nothing interesting about the character of Bobby Lashley. So Braun Strowman won. I mean, I feel like we all knew it was going to. Pointless feud. I wish it would have. Are they fighting again at Stomping Ground? Braun was ruined so badly. Yes, he really was.
I agree 100%.
He should have. If they had made him the one that beat Brock Lesnar whenever they had their match, his star would have fucking went to the point where you wouldn't be able to catch it. Honestly. I mean, he would have been a great Universal Champion during that time. People didn't want Roman. People did not want Brock, but they were fucking ready for Braun Strowman. And now, again, after all this time, he's cooled off again. And it's just terrible.
Yeah.
They need to learn how to strike when the iron's hot.
Yeah,
like they did with Kofi. That's the one time they actually made a decent decision.
Yeah.
And speaking of Kofi, then we had Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston. Good match. I mean, it was good. I liked it. Again, it just suffered from being cut short. I think they needed probably at least 5 more minutes, if not longer, to be able to really do what they could have done, because you got 2 of the best in the company with Dolph Ziggler and Kofi. And it was really good. Of course, the ending was they were on the outside. Dolph super kicks Woods. So then they're back on the inside, and the ref isn't looking. Dolph gets thrown into the ropes. Woods is there, kicks him in the head, which immediately he bounces into a Trouble in Paradise and then gets pinned by Kofi. So Kofi wins. Solid match. So this was the most tense moments of the day for me, because once he won, Kofi was out there for a very fucking long time after celebrating. And so that just, with everybody whispering in your ear, oh, Brock's going to cash in on Kofi. Brock's going to cash in on Kofi. You're just like, Kofi, just get to the fucking back, dude. But
and that's what happily, a lot of people are saying. We were all saying it in the Discord for sure.
Yeah. Happily, that did not happen. So I don't know if Brock is like completely focused on Seth. That kind of would make more sense since Seth did take that title from him, but you can't count on WWE to make sense at all.
Nope, never.
See, even Brian Beatty thought he was going to cash in. I mean, that was the rumor going around, but I'm glad it didn't happen. So then Dolph was backstage and cut a pretty good promo because all leading up to this, in his promos, he does say it should have been me, but he always commended Kofi for being a great champion and a fighting champion. And so now he gets kicked by Woods and he's like, oh, he's not what I thought he was, blah, blah, blah. And so now they're going to fight in a steel cage, which that should be good. And I kind of understand why a lot of the matches are going to be the same, because it's only like a week from tomorrow. I mean, there's no time to build up any other feuds.
Yeah, no. The only way that you could even build up anything else is to have like a returning star, like Bray Wyatt, for instance, come back and say, hey, I want to challenge, let's say Randy Orton.
I wonder when he will come back, because I know he as he was, in between these weekly Firefly Funhouses, he had a baby with JoJo.
Yeah, no, and I was wondering that too because he was set to be back by now.
Yeah, he was supposed to come back, and then I think that maybe a day or so before his return is whenever she gave birth.
Yeah.
So, but fuck it, dude. I'm still liking the new ones, like the Muscle Man shit. That thing was hilarious, dude.
Yeah, it was good, but when you go on the wrestling insiders on Facebook and stuff, and all you see is a picture of him in a fucking muscle shirt with the background, it looks really fucking stupid in the thumbnail. And then you watch it and you're like, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it is really fucking stupid, but that kind of like is what's so funny about it.
Well, yeah, because that's how Bray's always been. He's always been that serious yet funny guy.
Right. That's true.
What's up?
Let's look a little bit at the chat here. I would like to see Bobby Lashley versus Lesnar, but they would need to build up Lashley.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, they would definitely have to build him up. And the thing is, I don't know how they can do it. He has no personality. Like, I feel like this dude would be the most boring person at a party.
Put a mouthpiece on him?
Well, they tried that, and then they had to fucking release him, so...
yeah, but would you really call that a mouthpiece?
I mean,
he's a piece of something, all right.
I was annoyed by him at what I feel like was in a good way. And, I watched with Elena, and she's like, she's like actually a mark, like she knows it's not real, but she doesn't like the bad guys, and she likes the good guys for the most part. So she really hated Leo Rush as well. So, so like she legitimately did not like that guy. Which
I'm going to be the one to say it sucked because Leo, when he first came in, had a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. And then they just brought him up to the main roster and they put him as a fucking mouthpiece. And it's like, wait, you were just hyping this guy up on NXT a week ago, and now you're putting him as a mouthpiece?
Yeah, definitely confusing.
Yeah.
And then we got Brian Beatty says, only NXT makes sense booking-wise, mostly.
Why? Triple H.
Yeah. Because Vince, like, literally doesn't do it. I heard that Vince sometimes doesn't even watch the takeovers.
He does.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? These are your up-and-coming stars, possibly.
He literally doesn't. That's the thing.
That's terrible. That is absolutely
terrible. The
terrible.
only ones that I know of that actually watch NXT are, of course, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and occasionally Road Dogg.
I mean, I would say Vince, if he doesn't watch it, it's only because that people say that NXT is good and his shit is shitty, which is true, though. Because NXT is very solid, fluid storylines. They make sense. They go together. They go from month to month, and the shit makes sense,
Yeah. And see, I think that's why NXT in general... Yeah, exactly, Paul. I think the reason NXT is so great is the fact that they have the ability to tape day after day after day after day because they're not bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. They just have the central location. And
yeah, they have the central location except for the odd NXT takeover. So they have the ability to, say to their Full Sail University students, hey, let's go watch NXT tonight, or let's go watch it tomorrow night, or whatever the case may be.
But it's like not only that, but the characters are so much more well defined in NXT, and then you bring somebody up, like say, I don't know, Bobby Roode, and then you just strip everything from them except maybe one little bit of what they were, and then you wonder why they fucking flounder. It's like this shit is legit terrible. Bray needs to win when he comes back. If he doesn't, I mean, he'll win it first, and then we'll see.
Yeah. Speaking of, the whole floundering and whatnot, I didn't actually watch Moxley's New Japan Pro Wrestling match until last night. Mm-hmm. And if you watch, he does a newer version of the Dirty Deeds.
Yeah, I haven't seen the match, but I saw the ending part of it, so I know what you're talking about.
Dude, the way Juice lifted himself, it looked so picture perfect. I was like, whoa.
That was great.
Like,
I agree.
That was the best Dirty Deeds I think I've ever seen in my life.
I'm definitely excited for the future of Moxley.
Oh yeah, me too. But I'm wondering what he's going to call it though, because I don't think he called it Dirty Deeds.
Probably
a lot
not.
of people just called it a DDT, which is technically
Whatever
what it is. But
I mean, that worked. Double arm DDT. And
yeah, like a double arm DDT kind of thing. Also, War
Lashley,
Raiders. Yes.
Lashley should have come out the night he returned, taking out Brock. Should have squashed Brock and won the title of him. Holy shit! I don't know about that. That is extremely boring. But the only time that anybody was even hyped for fucking Lashley was whenever he returned. That's the only time you heard cheers.
Yeah, but the thing was, everybody was confused because all you heard was a generic WWE video game theme song.
Yeah, and it wasn't even his old music. Like, at least that might have helped, but
yeah. Well, let's be honest here. Nobody has their original music except for the very few that, were back in the Attitude Era.
True.
And even then, most of them don't have it. I mean, look at the Headbangers when they came back.
That made me so fucking upset. They're the Headbangers. Half of their gimmick is music.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
And then you give them some bullshit. What's up, Angel?
Being that I've actually talked to Thrasher, that did make me, and I even talked to him about it. I'm like, why did they do that? And he's like, just copyright issue. I'm like, yeah, I figured.
Really?
Yeah.
From shit that was from there. Well, I do know that like a lot of the music that they used back then may have been like Creative Commons almost, because I know that like in Snickers commercials I would hear the Hollies music. And shit like that, like you just randomly hear like a WWE theme in like a commercial or on a TV show. So I guess that makes sense, but that really sad.
Yeah.
Good to see your text, Angel. All right. So Kofi won. All right. Next was the...
Yeah, sorry to get a little sidetracked there, guys.
It happens. It's going to happen whenever you're watching us. So it's the 50-man battle royal. Very prestigious, by the way. I don't know if they mentioned that on TV, but this was definitely very prestigious.
No, they didn't mention it at all. Nope, not once.
Okay, so I mean, there was some cool spots in this. 50 people, like whenever it started, you could not tell what the fuck was going on. Didn't matter what camera angle they were showing. It was just a mass of humanity in the ring. As it kind of, people went out pretty quick, and as it kind of dwindled down, it got a little bit easier to tell what was up, and you had some of your favorites still in there. But anyway, so the last two it comes down to are Mansoor and Elias. And so Mansoor wins, and it's some guy that was from Saudi Arabia and one of the, I think he was on Crown Jewel as one of like their prospects or whatever. And just recently, I guess he just recently started with NXT. So I have not seen the dude. Had no fucking idea who he is. I feel like I'm not the only one.
Nope. I knew of him. Like, I've seen the name before because I watch NXT like weekly. But he hasn't really done much since he's like me and Paul were saying earlier in the Discord. He's only been around since about May-ish.
May.
So I mean, he's still green on the, he's still green on it, and he's still wet behind the ears, so to speak.
Makes sense. I mean, the super kick he gave to Elias looked really good. He seems like he can cut a promo. That speech afterward, while it was very self-serving and very, hey, it's me, your hometown boy, everybody. I just did what I really did it this time. Cool, dude. Way to go. It was fine. It was good. I think that he definitely has potential, but who the fuck is it, dude? Like, you're gonna win a 50-man battle royal, the first one ever. And they're like, this is the most prestigious, but oops, in 1992, you've had a Royal Rumble. But okay.
When you think about it, would you rather have had somebody from NXT, or would you rather have somebody like, let's say, Bobby Lashley win that battle royal?
I would have just rather it been somebody that I actually knew who they were.
Okay, fair enough. Yes.
But that's, it's fine. It served its purpose. You know what I mean? They got to jerk off Saudi Arabia. So that's how they did that. And honestly, probably got the biggest pop of the night.
Yeah.
Bigger than fucking Undertaker and Goldberg. which was, I mean, if not, it was close. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Angel says Robert Roode should have won. Why? So it would be glorious.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Brian. I'll give the dude the benefit of the doubt. It was just like so out of nowhere.
It would have been Canadianly glorious. Thank you very much. And I would go there.
Hey, feel free, man.
Hey, man, I'm Canadian. I'm allowed.
All right. So then, in our main event that we have all been waiting for 100 years, Bill Goldberg versus the fucking Undertaker in a very dangerous and scary match. Honestly, most of this was not cool.
They almost had the shortest match of the night, too. By the way,
how long was it?
The shortest match was 7:15, and theirs was 8:35.
Makes sense. I mean, it was time.
Actually, no, sorry. The shortest one was 5:15.
Who was that?
The Sullivan Lucha House Party match.
Blech.
Yeah, right.
It was
say how long the Battle Royal was.
All I know is that it was time to end that match one way or the other because Goldberg was fucking up a lot. He was not strong enough. I don't know if he had been doing training leading up to the match and he thought that he would be able to, but he completely fucked up the jackhammer, which
he couldn't even jackhammer somebody.
Yeah, he couldn't do the jackhammer, which literally, if his arm hadn't been Undertaker's neck, probably would have broken Undertaker's neck.
One of those spears was fucking brutal.
Yeah,
like one of the first ones he did.
I thought it was interesting the way it started off with like the two spears, and I was like, oh shit, oh my god, but pretty much after that is when everything immediately went downhill.
Oh yeah, big time.
And then not to mention, now I can't confirm this in any way, but it looked like at the end it was supposed to be Goldberg going for the tombstone. Then they would do the flip where Undertaker had the tombstone. I don't know where it would have went from there, but it looked like that was what was trying to happen, and Goldberg wasn't strong enough to do that. Maybe it was because it was 110 degrees. I don't know, but if you don't fully believe with all your fucking heart that you can pull off some of these moves where you're aiming somebody's fucking neck at the ground, don't try. Don't fucking try it. So then, it was over from then. Undertaker gets up, choke slams, which looks horrible because Goldberg gets no fucking air. Because can he not? I mean, all you have to do in a choke slam situation is get choked and jump up in the air.
Yeah.
Goldberg couldn't do that.
I mean, I'm 5'0" and I can jump in the air, for God's sakes.
Yes, Dre Santee, yes, absolutely. You could see the frustration. Taker was pissed, dude.
Yeah.
He was very angry.
I'm gonna be the one to say it. The best part of that match was the blood. Hands down.
I guess. I mean,
it shows you, and if you noticed, and I don't know if it's just because they were, in Saudi and Saudi wanted edgy, but the referee didn't do anything to clear it. Under any normal circumstance, they would have tried to clear the blood off of his face.
Well, at least he would have. Did the ref even put on gloves? Because that's kind of what they have calmed down to, like, instead of, because I think, remember what that one time, not this last time, but a while back, Samoa Joe started bleeding profusely, and they actually ended the match. And I think that pissed everybody off so much that now they kind of let it go for a second, or at least they
him off, let alone anybody else.
Yeah, at least, like, even with the
I'm aware of that, Brian.
Whenever he just got hurt again,
yeah,
and was bleeding, at least there was a conclusion to the match. They didn't just end it for blood. Like, that's just a shitty way to end it. But they usually at least refs still put on the gloves.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Court says Goldberg didn't look that good in his run versus Brock. I mean, he didn't look great then, but he looked better than he looked tonight. Like, this was just bad.
Yeah.
This was straight up bad.
It was botched city, that's why.
Yeah. I mean, it was, Undertaker was literally in there with someone dangerous at this point. You know what I mean? He really could have gotten hurt, and I don't blame him for being frustrated or pissed off.
Nope.
Berg busted himself before he even. Yeah, dude, he had that big red fucking circle on his head before he even came out. So, whatever. Yeah, but overall, this was just a bad show. It was there's nothing, not very much that was redeeming. I mean, there were some cool spots in the Battle Royal, but nothing. And the Kofi match was fine, but overall, just very meh, like a waste of 3 hours.
Honestly, my favorite part, and it's it was honestly the stupidest part, but it was my favorite part of the entire show, was at the very beginning. Michael Cole and Renee Young were talking about the Arabic commentators, and it must have been Michael or Corey had said one of their names wrong, and Renee said it right. So in English, one of the Arabic announcers actually said, "Well, at least you didn't botch my name, Renee."
I missed like the first few minutes, so I guess I missed that, but that's hilarious.
It was hilarious. I started laughing. I'm like, that was literally the best thing of this entire show, and it just started.
Oh man, that's sad. But yeah, I mean, if you missed the show, you didn't miss much. I feel terrible because
WWE Network for $9.99.
I feel like so many people that like didn't watch the whole show but are going to go back and watch Goldberg versus Undertaker are going to be so fucking sad because it was terrible. It was just so sad. And it's like, I was worried, maybe the match will be too short or, maybe it'll be too boring. But no, it was just too fucking scary that Undertaker was going to get hurt because Goldberg was not prepared for this. I don't know if it was it could have been the heat. It could have been something else, but he just wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you shouldn't care, Brian, because you didn't really miss much.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you did not miss a damn thing. And that's the sad part of it. They hyped it up so much that you're just like, what the fuck?
Repeatedly called this a WrestleMania equivalent event.
Yeah.
If this is how WrestleMania was and is expected to be, then that's just fucking sad. That's pathetic.
The entire best part of the entire show is the pyro.
Yeah, pretty much. WWE won't have Goldberg back for a while.
Did you notice though? And I don't know if anybody else noticed this. When Taker's pyro was going off, it almost looked like they had it barricaded.
I don't know. I didn't really notice, but it's possible.
I noticed behind the fire, behind the flame, it was barricaded a little bit, and it almost looked like it was on the sides too. It was kind of like caged in, so it didn't go all over the place.
The last, I don't know why they keep doing that because all that does is undermine WrestleMania, in my opinion, Brian. Yeah. But yeah, I felt so terrible for those druids. Because not only is it 110 degrees, not only are you completely covered head to toe, a big old hood, but you're carrying a big fucking pillar of fire right in front of your face and surrounded by other people who are doing the same damn thing. Like, they must have been about to die, dude.
Well, like somebody said in the Discord, maybe it was females under there. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess completely cloaked and hooded is as good as a burqa.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that was the show. Those are the results. It is what it is. It was what it was. It wasn't great. Wasn't great. Anything else you want to talk about, Skits?
Well, I do want to mention one thing, and I was kind of skimming through it on the Discord a little bit. I think it is. Yeah. And that's why. And Taker being one of those people.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to mention, guys, is I was talking to Ebar about this, and I don't know if he's going to get on board with it or not. He hasn't really gave me an answer yet, but he is working on his own game, so I understand. I'm actually going to be doing a ROM hack. I've been watching a video on how to do them. So if you watch like Grand Pooh Bear or Ryuka or any of those guys on YouTube, they do ROM hacks of Mario. The biggest one being Kaizo blocks. Those are the little gray blocks that you see in the game. And they just put them all over the place in the map and don't tell you where. They kind of hide them. Excuse me. I'm actually going to be working on one. So hopefully when I'm done, either myself or Ebar will play it. And if Ebar,
it's Mario, bro. I'll definitely play it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I told Ebar, if he wants to get on board with it, he's more than welcome. I know that he does have his Pixel City Bros game coming out within the next probably year or so. I would imagine. I don't know how fast you guys are doing.
Hopefully, we're trying, man. Shit takes a while.
But it's like you were saying one day, like once something in the game is done, it's done.
Right.
The big thing with the Mario hack is I have to literally do every freaking level, and I want them to all make sense from level to level. So I've got to get a plan on that. But again, once I'm done, I will let you guys know. And like Ebar said, he'll probably play it. So
it'll probably be on like playing through PC, right?
Yeah, it'll be on a ROM hack.
Gotcha. All right, yeah, that's definitely cool. Once it is created, I will definitely play that.
Yeah. And if you guys got ideas, throw them in the Discord. I will take ideas before I even start working on it. So
yeah, for sure. All right, so that's that. Those were the results. Thank you, everybody who came out to listen to what we thought. I feel like a lot of you felt the same way for sure.
Yeah.
About this show.
2 out of 10.
Bad. Just bad. Honestly, like I hate to say that. I don't like being negative, but it was honestly just bad.
Yep. I agree.
So anyway, we'll probably see you next Wednesday, and we'll talk about what's going on from Raw, SmackDown, and then like whatever other news is going on.
What kind of streams are you doing this weekend, Ebar?
We will probably do a Jackbox stream tomorrow night if you guys want to come out. Everybody's able to play together, so it makes it pretty fun.
Cool.
And then there may be some other random streams. If I get bored, I play Uno, so sometimes I just stream it because I'm bored.
That's why I asked. I figured you might play tonight. You never know.
And it's possible. And if you have Facebook, you can play Uno with me. We'd be a fucking straight up tag team and show them what's up. We'll be champions.
Unless you're you.
Yeah. Except for the Canadian American team of Ryan and Ebar.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, all the hearts, you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you again very soon. Until then, bye-bye.
Later, boys.